What sound does the world make when it breaks? It is not the sound of water, but the groan of the earth itself, a deep, guttural tremor that vibrates through bone and soul. From my small shop near the shore, I watched the sea retreat in a silent, impossible gasp. Then the horizon darkened. A line of white fury swelled into a liquid mountain, a moving wall that erased the sky. In that single, suspended moment, every ordinary thought vanished. There was no past, no future, only a deafening present, filled with the screams of others and the frantic, silent scream trapped in my own chest. Time shattered into a million terrified heartbeats. The roar was a physical force, a concussive blast that struck before the first drop of water arrived. Hearts stood still. Panic became the only language, a contagion passed in a single, terrified glance. We were no longer neighbors or strangers. We were simply souls running from an apocalypse we could not comprehend. The world we knew was being unwritten, washed away in a torrent of salt and memory. But even as the world fell apart, something else flickered. A hand reached out. A voice shouted a warning. A desperate glance to see if another was safe. These were the first embers of empathy, glowing faintly in the suffocating darkness of fear. After the earth's terrible roar, an even more terrifying silence descended. The screams had faded into whimpers, swallowed by the vast, hollow quiet of the aftermath. It was in this quiet that the true sound of our survival began. On a street slick with mud and ruin, an old woman sat beside what was once my shop. She uncapped her only bottle of water and, without a word, held it to the lips of a lost and sobbing child. That simple, silent gesture was louder than the wave that had taken everything. It was the first echo of hope. This is how we began again, not with grand speeches or organized plans, but with these small, sacred exchanges of humanity, a shared blanket against the sudden chill. A shoulder offered for a stranger's grief. How does a heart, broken into 1,000 pieces, begin to beat again? It learns from the rhythm of a heart beside it. Each act of compassion was a single stitch, mending the torn fabric of our community. Each quiet kindness proved that even in the deepest darkness, light finds a way through the cracks. This power is not confined to a single tragic day. It remains our most profound human resource, the answer we must always turn to when the world feels as if it is breaking apart. We are called to be the comforter for the grieving, the steady hand in the chaos, a legacy written not in stone, but in the quiet strength of the human spirit. As the sun set on that first day, a new question arose from the wreckage. What does it take to turn that first flicker of hope into a lasting flame?